going on, everyone? If you're feeling lost in life, you're not the only one. This video is something I've been trying to make for honestly this whole year. Like this whole year, I've been thinking about creating a channel dedicated to these sort of topics. Feeling lost, I just turned 25 2 months ago, and I feel like I'm in like a quarter life crisis. Things have not been going smooth, to say the least. And I wouldn't be making this video if it was going smooth. But hopefully this topic and discussion will maybe help some of you guys. Maybe you guys can relate to it. I would love to hear your experiences in the comments section down below. But yeah, this year has been difficult. 2023 for me has fucking sucked. It's been awful. It's been a really shitty year. Both physically and mentally, and even spiritually. Like I've been questioning a lot of things, and I'm not going to get more into that because that isn't really the main point or topic I want to discuss, but it's more so the mental aspect and also feeling lost. That's the primary thing. I'm feeling lost in my life. Just to give a little bit of background about me, I was previously a medical student, and I was a medical student for the whole year of 2022. I completed my first year in medical school, and it didn't go well. My first block or semester, I failed by 1 point, and then the second semester, I think I failed by 2 points, and yeah, I failed. I failed, and I had to repeat the year. I could have repeated the first semester, but I decided to move forward thinking that I would do great in my second semester, but that didn't go as planned. And I actually moved abroad for my second semester. So this is a really difficult topic that I'm actually sharing. It was so fucking hard, man. Also living abroad. I didn't mind living abroad. I actually enjoyed it. Even having having an awesome supportive roommate. I made so many different friends. We did a lot of different things. We partied like crazy. I did so much stupid shit that second semester, and I mean, it makes sense why I failed it. But I also was sort of being avoidant of tackling my studies. I would study, but I would study too last minute. And I'm surprised that I passed anything in medical school. Somehow, some way I did. I think I just found that that motivation last minute, the last couple days to study and to really reinforce the information that I was trying to learn. But if you guys have been in the medical field or in medical school or in any sort of medical aspect, it's crazy. So basically things didn't go as planned. I got in student debt, of course. That is the craziest part. Is it's so expensive, man. It is like paying a mortgage. Getting a loan for a mortgage. It's crazy how expensive it is. So yeah, just a lot of disappointment because my whole life, since I was 17, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to become a doctor. And I mean, I did it mainly for the money and the security, but I also like talking to people and helping people. I have this feeling and desire to help people. I don't know what it is, but I like hearing about I like having deep conversations, deep and meaningful conversations, and I like giving advice here and there. But I also like sharing my own experience at the same time, which is why I'm making this video. I was just so devastated with the whole medical school situation, and when I saw I couldn't move forward, and that I couldn't just repeat my semester either, I either had to pay cash or not receive financial aid, which I didn't because I didn't pass either one of my semesters. And because of that financial aid, they didn't want to give me a loan until I dropped out of medical school and then reapplied and got back into the school, which the school understood that. And they said, you can definitely do that. But I had that option. I had that option of trying to do that, but I didn't because part of me, on the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, no, I could try again, and I know I could do well. I know I could do well. I know myself. I know I could do well. But in terms of the future, in terms of how it would make me feel to keep on going with medical school, it would drain everything out of me. And it's not something I'm truly passionate and also don't. I do enjoy certain aspects of it, of actually helping people and the cool terminologies you learn in the actual physiological functions and stuff. It's cool. But besides that, it's like, I've always had this science background and I don't want to go back to biology actually. Like, I don't. I have a biology degree. And I've been trying to transition this whole year into tech, actually, since tech is a booming field. Easier said than done, though, because I got a job as a technical support specialist, and the company I worked for, they not only underpaid, which was not the biggest deal since I live with my family and I don't have to pay rent or anything like that. So the pay doesn't matter as much, but it does. It still affects like some certain things I can do. I also don't have a car. I sold my car while I was in medical school because I never thought I was going to come back to the US and utilize my car. Like, I never thought that. So I sold it. It got sold, and I came back, and this whole year, 2023, I haven't had a car. I have not been consistent at going to the gym. Like, I barely went to the gym. Been hospitalized, a few weeks back for like a kidney issue I had. It's just I was eating really poorly. I was basically, I was smoking the Mary Jane too much, and it's legal where I'm at. So, yeah, recreationally. So, and because of that, I was eating like crazy. I gained so much weight, and I just didn't feel like myself. Like, I felt lost, and part of me still feels lost, but I have understanding and direction. I've been studying to become a software engineer. I thought I could do it within a couple months or even 6 months and get an entry-level software engineer job, but it's not the case. It's not that easy. It's really hard. And now I'm just looking into getting into IT. I recently just got a job within my friend's company. It's not his company, but he works for the company, and he put in a good word for me, and I just got in for a entry-level position with, some really good benefits. Right now I'm starting at the bottom, but they literally created a position for me because they see my potential, and that's something I have going for me. And it doesn't pay great at all. It actually pays less than my last job as a technical support specialist, but it's something, man. It's something, and it's keeping me going. This year is the first year I've ever been so quiet. I've been quiet. I haven't been vocal. Like, I've kind of had like short outbursts here and there of just like within my family. Like, I just stay cooped up within my room. I don't talk to anyone. Like, I just like these last couple months has been the most contact I've had with my friends, with my lifelong friends. And besides that, I've only been hanging out with one of my best friends. Like, that's it. Like, and barely. Like, we see each other maybe once a month. Like, it's very rare. And most of that is my fault. But at the same time, it's been rough for me. So, although I do blame myself, I also like understand that I need my own time and space. Like, I need to work on my shit. And if that means I need to be in my room alone and study or be creative or learn something new, like, that's important to me. Or even just read something, learn something every day. That's what I've been trying to do. I really have not been trying to take advantage of the time that I have. And if anything, I've been feeling like I've been rushing. Like, I've just been rushing to get the job, to like make 6 figures, to like make a lot of money. And I don't know why I'm doing that. I think I'm just doing that just so I can feel like I'm stable and maybe live on my own. But I don't think that would make me happy. I don't think that would bring a great amount of happiness to me. I don't believe that. I think having a creative outlet for me has been like the only thing that really makes me happy. And also share a little bit more about myself. I go by the name Cryptic. That's like my old Call of Duty name. It's Cryptic, and it's something it's always stuck out to me. Like, my best friend who I started working for his company, he sort of helped me come up with that name, Cryptic. I don't know why it came up, but I like that name. I don't know. We were just like messing around in middle school. We came up with it, and it was like him and another one of our friends, and came up with it. We created like a Call of Duty clan. Stuff is stupid, man, stupid, but it was good times, really really fun. Excuse me. But besides that, it's been hard, man. It's been a hard year. Like I have a feeling I know what I want to do, but I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. Part of me just wants to create content, but you know, I don't sometimes know what I want to create. That's why I just literally pulled up this camera and said, fuck it. I'm just going to make a video and talk about feeling lost, because that's what I've been feeling. And maybe, I get some feedback from you guys on what you guys have been through, facing a quarter life crisis of figuring out like what the hell you want to do. I'm just trying a bunch of different shit and seeing what clicks and what doesn't. I've been like doing like, sometimes I do these career quizzes or personality online quizzes. I feel like they're all marketing bullshit. Most of it's just marketing and like scams and stuff, but it makes me look into different fields, and it's like utilizing ethos, which is like, I believe that's your feeling, and a career or something being related and tailored to you it makes you kind of feel like there's something out there for you, and so it makes you do more research and look into more into a specific career option. Like I looked into data analyst, I looked into data science, I looked into machine learning, software engineering, like web development, right? Like web development, front end, back end, all the shit. You guys probably don't give a fuck about that, but it's just some stuff I've been looking into and like working on. And the only benefit I've gotten from this is like I know what those things are, and I know the significance and the general roles and like responsibilities of each of those roles. And I kind of learned how to code. I'm not good by any means. I'm actually not good at all, really. I'm okay. But I've accomplished more than I've accomplished more than I thought. Not of them thinking now. Because before I made this video, I was like, shit, man, like I feel like crap. Like just in a depressive state, a deep state of anxiety and lack of direction. And one of my best friends, during my birthday, we hung out a few months back, and I told him like I've been feeling this way. He's like, dude, yeah, I know you've been like gone, like dude, like you've been like typically we don't see you that often anyways, but because of the medical school, but like dude, you were like gone. Like he's like, we had no idea you were back in the U.S. for like half a year. He's like, that's insane. I was like, and I apologized. I was like, yeah, no. I just really didn't know how to start this conversation. Like I didn't know how to approach my friend. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I reached out at least this year or something. It would have sucked if I reached out within like 2 years or something. We live in the same goddamn town. Like we literally live like 3 minutes away from each other. But he's good at giving me my space. Well, he lives farther away now, but he's good at giving me my space. And he respects me. He does respect me, and I respect him as well. So there's respect and there's boundaries we have. We really respect each other, but it's hard, man. It's just hard figuring out what the hell you want to do. Like some people just have it figured out, and sometimes I'm a little jealous, but sometimes I'm just like, good for them. It's half and half. It just depends on my mood, depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'm feeling hopeless and I don't have any direction. It's difficult. It's difficult, and we live in a difficult time, a time of technology, of things are just advancing extremely fast. Things are getting automated, even with AI and everything. And some people are getting laid off. It's crazy, and then prices are just skyrocketing. Like a McChicken from McDonald's is almost $3 to $4. What the hell is going on? McDonald's now has prices like for like a fast casual place. Might as well go to like Five Guys or like Shake Shack instead of going to McDonald's, or like In-N-Out. Well, In-N-Out's pretty cheap actually. In-N-Out's pretty reasonable in price. A lot more than freaking Five Guys. Five Guys is It's expensive, but it's good. But that's another thing. Like, I mean, I know I'm going on a tangent on different topics, but once again, like, just figuring out what I want to do with this channel. I'm just exploring. I might keep on making videos like this. Like these, this is more of a longer format videos. I might even make them shorter, depending like what pops in my head. If I just want to make a video, I didn't even think of a thumbnail for this video. I typically think of a thumbnail or something, and just like create it on Photoshop and create something catchy or some shit. But I just want to keep this raw. I want to keep this authentic. I want to be myself, and I don't want to deviate from what is really important, which is getting my message across of feeling lost. And if you guys have any advice or any sort of stories you want to share, I would love to hear it down below in the comment section. And yeah, I might start a live stream. I don't know. I love to game as well. You guys could probably tell with this whole like setup I have going on. I love gaming. I really enjoy gaming and like anime and like movies and TV as well. I haven't really been watching many shows and like movies, but yeah, hopefully I get a car soon as well. That's a big one. Hopefully I get it soon because I'm going to start this new job and I kind of have to travel just a little bit. Like it's like 30, 45 minutes away. I've had a lot of support from my family. Like I really don't think I would be anywhere without them. And for anyone who doesn't have that support or anything, is like, yeah, you know, I feel for you, man. Like, I don't know. It's really hard. If I didn't have the support, I think I would be fucked. I actually think I would be fucked. Because I feel like I have all this knowledge, all this experience. I feel like I've matured really fast as well. Like being just turning 25, and I feel like I've been through the ringer. Like I feel like I have a good understanding of how people work. I've also, you know, worked in like sales and marketing and like banking and stuff since I was 18. So things, I'm pretty good with people. I understand people very well. I'm a relatively good listener. I speak a lot and I say a lot of bullshit and I jibber jabber a lot, as you guys can, see. That's why what I'm using this platform for. Is if there's something that pops up in my mind and I want to speak about it, I can just speak about it. I don't have to worry about having a perfect structure, perfect this, perfect that. It's hard, man. It's hard. I'm grateful for where I'm currently at and where I might be in the next couple of years, but it's just consistency and like keep on working and learning. I don't, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't love IT. Like I don't love technology. I don't love it. Just going to be honest. I don't love it. I love creating. Whether, and especially creating something that's my own, something that's my own. I just love creating. I don't know exactly what that means. I'm not the most artistic person. I'm not like an artist. I'm more of a musician and singer than anything, but I love creating and I love putting my personality out there, and I love having mixed opinions. I love haters. I love people who are supporters. I love all different kinds of people, and this platform provides that for me. I don't do TikTok because right now I refuse to go on that platform. I feel like I already wasted enough time, and I'm going to make a whole separate video on shorts and how people are wasting their time, because that's something I want to like talk about. I mean, people waste time in many different ways, and maybe you're not wasting your time. Maybe you're doing things that you want to do in the moment because you're tired from work. So technically you're not wasting time. But sometimes I feel like I'm a type A person, but being off from work or not having work right now, like I haven't worked in, I basically have had like a month and a half break because of like being back and forth in the hospital and everything. I'm recovering quite well, so I feel a lot better. My kidneys are perfect. Like I'm good. I just need to go to the gym, honestly. That's all it is. I just need to go to the gym. I just need to continue to monitor like my weight. Continue to do what I'm doing. I'm a big guy, so thank God I'm really healthy, because I could have been really sick. Because I currently I weigh. I'm gonna do a whole separate video on this, but I currently weigh around 275 in the morning, like after going to the bathroom and everything. That's how you get your most accurate weigh-in, is once you go to the bathroom in the morning, you don't drink anything, you go straight on the scale, and that's the most accurate reading you can get. Now, if you, of course, ate like a few hours beforehand, like if you ate, like let's say if you ate like 4 or 5 hours beforehand, and your food hasn't fully digested, you're probably gonna weigh heavier, and so that won't be an accurate reading. So ideally, like could be like 8 or to 10 hours before you ate is fine. So when you're sleeping and you wake up in the morning, just immediately go to the bathroom, if you need to go, and then weigh yourself. That's the most accurate weigh-in you can get, and you can note that down, document it. I don't get too attached to the scale, but it helps monitor like where I'm at. If you want to do weekly weigh-ins, that's a good way to do it too. Like that's kind of what I do. I don't really think about it too much. I just do it, and I keep a mental tab. I don't need to note it down because I will remember how much I weighed. I just remember. That's so important that I do remember it, because monitoring your weight and your health is very important, and that's something I've learned. Like I I'm going to go into a whole topic on also like eating disorders and eating out, ordering out, like delivery apps. I love food. That's the thing. I love food. I don't invest in like clothes. I mean, I have a lot of clothes. I have a lot of nice clothes and a lot of nice shoes. I don't need any more clothes. I have garbage bags full of clothes, like nice clothes that I haven't even worn. So clothes are not an issue. The only thing I personally spend money on is sometimes like a video game here and there, like a big video game that's coming out or that has came out. And sometimes I just wait for a sale. Like I just like saving money. I've been getting better at saving money when it comes to that, but my biggest crux is spending money on food. God damn. And I'm going to say that 50 to 60%, no, I'm going to say 70 to 80% of my orders has been when I've been under the influence of Mary Jane. Shit is crazy. I mean, I literally threw out I had a cart. I threw my cart out because I also quit nicotine. Like I was vaping. I also vaped when I was studying abroad. Like, I mean, everyone was vaping, honestly. The amount of people in medical school that do substances, or like the medical school I was in that were doing substances like Adderall, Vyvanse, like nicotine was just like people inhaled that shit like nothing while we were doing like a respiratory section. It was hilarious. Like people just need a vape. I needed a vape to deal with the stress. Also like every other night, just sometimes every night we would just get blazed, man. We would just blazed both like with vape pens and then actual like bongs and stuff. Like it was crazy. And we actually did pretty good, man. I didn't do as good because once again, I had a crappy first semester, and I think that carried over to the second semester. I think even with all the procrastination, I could have done good or better in my second semester. It's just my foundation from my first semester was a little lackluster, and I think because of that, yeah, I mean, I had separate issues. We're gonna talk about the whole medical school experience. Like I studied remote my first semester, and then second semester I didn't. But remote medical school is like crazy. It just doesn't. It works, but it doesn't, because you're missing that human connection. And so when you're studying so much and you just study just to go online on your computer, and you don't have that human connection, you start questioning like why you're doing what you're doing. You're like, why am I doing this? This is like online medical school. This is stupid. But yeah, my screen suddenly got really bright, but that's really it. I just wanted to share that. I know I spoke a lot. I don't know if I'm going to keep everything in. I might. I'm going to cut certain things out maybe here and there, but I'm going to try to keep it as raw as possible. I just like to edit, and I enjoy video editing and cutting little fluff, and some shit I say is just stupid. I know it. I go off on a tangent, and that's something you might start seeing in my videos, and I might get more organized. I'm probably going to get more organized and more structured with my videos and think about topics I want to speak about. But please, I want to hear about your guys' experiences. I want to hear about what you've been through in your life. Maybe a time you felt lost, depressed, anxious, had no direction, like lack of career goals, lack of purpose is a big one. Lack of ambition. It's big, man. When you don't have any ambition or any purpose or any goal, you don't even have to be crazy ambitious. It's scary. It's very, very scary. And it's okay if you feel that way, because a lot of us feel that way. Millions of people out there feel that way. And a lot of us take advantage of this privilege, man. Like, even me. Like, I've taken advantage of it as well. And I can't do this forever. I can't take advantage of this forever, because it's going to come to a point where I've wasted so much time of just floating that I'm going to drown. And I will never learn how to swim, and I will never swim forward. I will always either just ever so slightly float, or I'll drown. And that's not, for anyone who's going through a place where you're drowning, instead of, floating is better than drowning, right? Because drowning is when you could be super depressed, super anxious, like you're literally immobile. You can't do anything. Or you're so overwhelmed, so stressed, you're having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. Like, for the first time, especially within this year, I was having like silent anxiety attacks, where you just sort of silently sit there and you feel your heart racing, and beating faster than normal. It feels like heart palpitations. It's just really, really bad stress and really bad, like, anxiety. I had that happen a few times this year, but especially one or two notable times these past couple weeks, especially related to my previous job. I really disliked being there. Like, I'm going to say this, I hated being there. Like, I actually hated being there, and I hated being there more than the bank I worked for this year. So I worked in two different positions this year, two different companies. One was a really big company, like a massive company, like one of the biggest like bank companies you might know, right? I'm not going to specifically talk about which one, but you can figure that out. But I worked for a very big company, in a pretty okay area. It wasn't a bad area. I'm used to working in a very rich area with a lot more richer clientele. This is a lot more middle class, leaning towards a little more, lower middle class. But I would say it was right around middle class, maybe a little bit upper middle class. But it was a mixture, definitely a lot more of a mixture. But I think it was good. It was a good thing I had that exposure. I was very nervous. I just didn't like coming into work, because I didn't give a shit about what I was doing. Like, I was just like, why am I doing this shit? I mean, I know it's just a job and I should do a great job, and I know how to do a good job, and I was doing a good job, but I was like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, has nothing to do with where I want to be in my life. But sometimes you just got to work, and you got to work well, and you got to try to connect with your coworkers. But yeah. But once again, I went off on another tangent. I might cut that shit out. I probably will. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to leave your feedback, comments, stories, anything, read it down below, because I'm going to read it. I'm going to read every single one. I'm going to try to reply to every single response or comment you have. If it's not really productive and it's just a criticism, I probably won't respond to it. And when I mean criticism, I'm saying not constructive criticism. If it's just a hey comment, I just don't reply to those. I don't really care about that, but yeah, definitely. I want to know, because I know a lot of people have been going through a rough time. And maybe a lot of you have been through a rough time, a rough patch, and maybe it could help me. It can help me get even more perspective, and that's what I'm looking for, is to get perspective and to also learn from you guys. If you can learn something from me, that's great. Like, that's awesome. That's so cool. But if I can learn from you as well, and hear an experience that really opens my eyes even more, like, that's amazing. But yeah, typically I'd plug in like a Twitter or something, but I have nothing to plug in. It's just, this is my channel. if you somewhat enjoyed this video, if you stuck around, subscribe, like the video. It helps with the good old YouTube algorithm. Super cringe, but I gotta say it, man. The YouTube algorithm is crazy now. The algorithm's insane. I remember when YouTube back then was just so simple. There's just like long form videos. They're funny, simple edits here and there, like Smosh, PewDiePie, Nigahiga, like all these different channels that were like, oh man, they're so awesome. They're so simple, and the quality was crap, but you loved it because it was entertaining. Now everything's shorts, but different topics. But hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Besides that, have a good night, day, wherever you're at in the world.